All right, so greetings, known world. I'm Gigi Coulson, and I'm a member of the board of directors for the Society for Creative Anachronism. And this is...
I am John Fulton. I am the current president of the SCA Incorporated.
So we hope you all are doing as well as possible during this coronavirus pandemic. And we just wanted to kind of sit down and have a chat and include you in it so you could get an update on kind of what's going on across the known world right now. So John, basically our first topic is the state of the known world at this moment in April of 2020. Want to give us an update?
Sure, and I have some notes because, I don't want to leave anything out.
That's understandable.
The state of the known world at this moment. Well, first, and this is hugely important, the kingdoms have just stepped up in this. We can't have event time and led and moved everything over to the web or social media. Our current state is the kingdoms are doing the best they can with how to deal with all of this. Everything, courts, events, classes, everything, and I will probably repeat that a number of times today. They've all gone over to social media and the web. We are truly an ESCA at this point, and they've just done great. In addition to the known world right now, everybody may or may not have heard, the Society Seneschal is working with the kingdoms to issue variances. A variance is a set aside of a corporal rule, such as publication times and dates for events and things like that, to allow kingdoms to move everything business-wise onto social media, onto the web, so that they can get things done. Coronations have been done online. Events, my local group has meetings online. We have one Sunday afternoon, but the kingdoms and the groups are doing everything that could possibly be expected. Everything has changed, participation for everybody. And this whole set of circumstances affects every single person in some way greatly. But our participation, events canceled, put away, we're not sure whenever the local or municipality or state or country decides that you live in decides to do it. Our participation is now online. Participation is through emails. It's a good thing we had this, but we are now literally the ESCA, and what has been done in the imagination by so many people is amazing.
Agreed. So when we talk about the imagination of people and the concerns of people, so people are really dealing with this situation using innovative measures, but some people are concerned about where they should look to for guidance and information. So do you want to cover that topic?
Sure. Right now, my first suggestion is don't be afraid or hesitant to contact your kingdom officers, your kingdom seneschal, your crown, your coronet. Communication is needed. Talk to them. If you have a problem that they can't help, or you need to contact somebody who could possibly direct you to the right person, go to SCA.org, our new and just rebuilt website. In the upper right corner of the first page, there's an officer button. Click that button, and then it brings up the board of directors. Click on that. Find the list of the 7 board of directors. They have a list of the kingdoms or ombudsman or the advocate for. If you need to reach them, there's email, there's phone, contact them. Outside of your kingdom, Mike Watkins, the Society Seneschal, his email is seneschal@sca.org. Get with him, contact him or me, John Fulton at president@sca.org, if you have questions. But right now, because everything is so local, I would contact your kingdom seneschal or your crown, your local seneschal. You can use them, do whatever you need. But I know the board, I know the society officers are checking their email every day, and you will get a response. It maybe take 12 to 24 hours. But from that side of the SCA, the small active side that is the corporate side, we are here to help. And please, if you have questions, don't hesitate to contact us.
Yes, agreed. Another adjacent concern that I've heard people talk about is our nonprofit status. So you said that the corporate offices are working, the board is working still. What about our nonprofit status?
Uh, if you look at the operational documents, again, that's on the awesomesca.org website. That is new and improved. Our articles of incorporation are the rules of which we, when we establish ourselves as a 501c3, it's like a one-page document. Take a look at that. Oh, I can explain it. It says that the SCA is a not-for-profit educational organization. We do this through classes, we do this through events, through meetings, through a number of things. We're still doing that. We may be doing it online, but if you look at your Kingdom website, or you look at social media for your Kingdom, or do searches, education has grown on the web. Our presence is big. Everybody is working. Classes and dancing and costuming and fighter practices, bardic stuff, sewing stuff. It's everywhere is there. And you're not going to pick from our members and participants are just doing all of this. It pretty much fits our stated thing to be educational in nature, and it has strengthened what the SCA, I think, strengthened what the SCA is as a whole, and how much valuable we are as a hobby or part-time or educational organization by the fact that everybody has picked up their tent stakes and moved online. So I don't think there's a problem with that whatsoever. The office is still running remotely, still handling membership, still answering questions. The board of directors on April 4th had their first ever in 10 plus years, an online face-to-face board meeting.
We did.
You did, and it went very well. Took almost all day Saturday. They took care of what necessary business needed to be done then. But the board is also meeting like every 2 weeks or so for the 6 weeks past there to stay in touch, to make sure that if something needs to be done, variances need to be discussed. Officers, we've got 5 new society officers coming in the next 3-4 months. That the business is being done. One thing we need to understand, because this affects everybody, we did have a significant drop in memberships renewals in April 2020 compared to April 2019, but that's to be expected, considering this life-altering situation we are in. But the SCA, the corporation, has some money set aside for emergencies. Everything's being done. Insurance is being done. The business is being done. Tighten your belts and keep going. But we think we're doing okay, and that our status is just fine.
Good. So you did touch a little bit about what the BoD is doing, that we're meeting virtually, we're meeting more often, and that will occur into the foreseeable future. And you also did bring up that your ombudsmen are available to you, and they're listed on the website. We're also going to continue these chats. The chat that John and I are doing today, we're going to have more of these coming with different people, different board members, different corporate officers, and hopefully we can plan some kind of town hall in the future, so we can have like a big meeting for people to ask questions, maybe write them in. So if you guys have ideas for that, please let me know. So the next topic is SCA in the time of pandemic. That's what I wrote down. So, you kind of touched on this, like everything is different. But what can we be doing right now? Even though everything is different, what can we do to kind of keep our minds occupied and have intellectual stimulation and the joy that the SCA does bring us? How can we keep that going even in this stressful time?
Well, we're pretty much limited to our imaginations of what we can do. The SCA covers, 1601 back. We cover 1601 back, literally any part of the world, then any culture. We can still continue our research. We can still continue our study. We can still interact socially. There are a lot of people that are using packages like Zoom to get together on Friday or Saturday nights. it is extremely difficult to get, to maybe touch the heart of the SCA. We all grew up in the SCA working with people and going and staring and watching and participating. Right now we have to do that elsewhere. But I know my wife is in here boiling up a bunch of weeds she picked up on her walk today to work on her dyes. The sky is the limit. We have a lot more time that could have been spent driving and staying all weekend in an event or a day event or stuff. But we could still use that time creatively. I'm a bard, I write. Other people do just about anything in the SCA. Keep your interest in, keep your hand in. If you need to talk or complain or yell to your officers, please feel free to do that in a polite way. Stay in touch. This is, as hard as all of this is, the SCA will be here afterwards. We will learn a great deal. I will probably always carry hand sanitizer, with me everywhere. But right now you can just touch, reach out, know that there's tens of thousands of other people worldwide who really care about what we try to do and about the heart of the SCA. It's difficult not to interact face to face, but I'm seeing so much being done and so many people hoping for the time that we can come back, that the dream that is the SCA, that's an interesting term, but it's always kind of, met the heart of the organization. So stay in touch. If you have issues, talk to people. The board itself is issued some new policies recently. Contact me if you don't know where my president's report is. I issue one of those after every board meeting, which allows you to know what the board and what the corporation is doing at the time. But for goodness sakes, if touch base with your kingdom, stay with your friends, and let's all get through this so that we can, at some point, sit around a campfire and my wife can tell me not to drink too many beers.
I know, we all want to get back to that. But in the meantime, stay as safe as possible. We know that SCA isn't everything, right? You have family, you have work, you have issues in your own lives that you're going to be dealing with, stress and anxiety. But still try to find the joy that you got from those events. Still try to find it in your everyday life. You're at home a lot more. Read some books, learn some new things, go online, take some classes, give some classes. Keep that intellectual stimulation going. It might give you a much needed break from everyday stress. And you heard it here from John, everything is okay. We're still accomplishing our mission. We can still pay our bills. And we see you. We're thinking of you. The corporate officers are working. The board is working. We're thinking of you. We want to hear from you. We want you to see us. So we're going to be coming to you virtually, having more chats and planning a virtual town hall or meet and greet. Is there anything else you want to say, John?
No, just mainly that along with the kingdoms, we'll work with the kingdoms and see what the real world tells us how to handle this going forward. The board released, a letter that said we have to deal with the real world. We have to deal with the decisions that are made for the safety of everybody. We will adhere to that as best as possible. But take heart, and for the first time in my entire 46 years in the society, this is the first problem we've ever had that we all share together. And I think everybody knows how serious this is, but we can get through it as an organization and as a group of friends, I think.
Well said. You have it, the State of the Known World in April of 2020. We've kind of gone over that, and we appreciate you giving us some of your time. And I hope that we can chat again very soon. I guess John said everything. We covered all the topics. I've said everything I needed to say, so we can sign off now.
Yep. And if y'all need anything, tell us.
Yes.
Talk to us. Thank you.
Take care, stay safe, and have a good one. Bye.
Have a good weekend. Bye, everybody.